Om Shri Sai Ram. Offering our loving salutations at the lotus feet of our most beloved Divine Master, Bhagavan Shri Satya Sai Baba, esteemed dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, respected elders, dear brothers and sisters, Bhagavan's most precious property, young men and young women of this world. Ayam nijaha paro veti ganana laguchetasam udara charita namtu vasudaiva kutumbakam. This stanza is a pearl from the treasure of Indian wisdom. It is only narrow-minded people who consider this person belongs to me, others do not belong to me. For the broad-minded people, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, there is only one family, the family of mankind. Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba declared to the world, which is ridden with conflict, with strife, and with violence, there is only one religion, the religion of love. There is only one caste, the caste of humanity. There is only one language, the language of the heart. There is only one God, He is omnipotent. It has been the dream, vision, and aspiration of all great thinkers all over the world, of all divine personages, of all prophets and messiahs, to achieve one family of mankind with the ideal and motto of fatherhood of God and brotherhood of man. But here, when we saw this wonderful Sarvadharma offering of prayers, it kindled in my heart that this is, after all, not a utopia. It is possible. But at the same time, representing the generation of elders, I would like to apologize to the youth of the world today. We have failed to set a good example for all of you. In the name of religion, we have fought. In the name of nationality, we have fought. In the name of language, we have fought. In the name of caste and creed, we have fought and set a bad example for you. We have built artificial barriers and walls, dividing the world into 1,000 fragmented divisions. I apologize to you, my dear young men and women, but it is for you to build this one family of the world and fulfill the vision of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba, which is the one and the only purpose with which God came into this world in the form of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. I have lived with Bhagavan for more than 50 years, and I have my dear friend Srinivas, who came to Swami as a boy. I came to Baba as a boy. People have asked me, what is the greatest miracle you have seen? I have seen thousands of materializations of rings, lockets, chains, watches, and whatnot. I have seen many incurable diseases cured merely by his will. I have also seen a resurrection of a dead student, a boy in the hospital at Puttaparthi, a boy studying in MSc. He was dead. Doctors declared him dead. Baba came there, and by his mere word, Swami called out his name, and he came back to life. I have seen that. But that is not the greatest miracle I have seen. The greatest miracle I have seen is the transformation of the young people, especially at a time when science and technology have thrown such attractive things before man. When man is losing his spiritual moorings, I have seen young men and women brought to the righteous path. See, that is the greatest miracle I have seen. For the sake of the young men and women who are here from all over the world, I would like to recall a very interesting incident that happened in Vrindavan when I was the warden of the university hostel there. It was 1997, 1st of June. We had admitted 100 new boys into the campus. And Baba was there in Brindavan. And that evening, after we went back to the hostel, as I sat in my office, I heard a tap on the door. There was one boy who was newly admitted to the college who came in. And he was looking very stern, and he said, "Sir, I want to talk to you." "Come on, my dear boy, please sit down," I told him. And he came and sat and said very curtly, "Sir, I don't like this place. I want to go home." I told him, "Just today you have come. What made you say this?" He said, "Sir, I did not come. My father brought me here." At least you should believe in the wisdom of your father. Why did your father bring you here? He very coolly said, with a straight face, "My father could not control me at home. That is why he has brought me here." I was astounded, but I still appreciated his frankness and told him, "My dear boy, your father has brought him for some reason. At least value his words and see that 1 week, 7 days, you stay here. You see for yourself what is happening in this university. And if you don't like to stay here, I will call your father and send you back." The boy said, again, very curtly he told me, "Sir, I will give you 3 days." That's what he said. First time, as a warden, I heard those words from a student. Generally, it is for the warden and principal to tell a boy or a girl, call them and tell them, "I give you 3 days, you have to mend yourself, otherwise you are out of the place." But here a student was telling the warden, "Sir, I will give you 3 days. Fine, 3 days are fine. You stay here for 3 days. I was wondering what I could do with that boy. And next morning, when I went to Swami, Swami asked me, "What is the news? Emi Samacharam." First thing that came up in my mind was this boy. But how would I tell this to Bhagavan? I said, "Swami, everything is fine. All the boys are fine." Baba said, "All boys are not fine." Then I did not talk about this boy, but all the time I was wondering what I could do with him. I called him, spoke to him. There was no way I could convince him. He had closed the door of his heart, and he had given me 3 days. And in those 3 days, what I could do, I was wondering. And that evening, I hit upon a plan. As warden, Baba had given me one opportunity or one right to take 10 newly admitted boys into Baba's compound when he came out for darshan. I thought I will take this boy also among those 10 boys, and I put him in a place where Baba could not miss him. Many of you who have seen Brindavan, you have the beautiful Tri Brindavan compound, and from the compound, there is a door onto the stage of the Sai Ramesh Krishnan Hall, where thousands of devotees gather for Swami's darshan. I put this boy at the door, and I just told him, "Boy, when Baba walks out and comes here, your job is to open the door, and Swami will go out, and then close the door, and finally when the bhajans are over, when the arati is over, you have to again open the door so that Baba comes out." It was really a great courage on my part to put him there. And Baba came out. He walked down the steps very gently. All of us know when Baba walked, he would remind us of a stanza from Lalita Sahasranama. "Marali Mandagamana Mahalavanya Sevadihi." He glided, he did not walk, he glided like a queen peacock. And he was the very ocean of beauty, gentleness and love and compassion oozing out from his eyes. He just came out and he saw me on the way. He was walking there. And every boy was standing with folded palms looking at Swami. I looked at this boy. This boy was standing like this. And then I thought I committed a mistake in putting that boy. I was thinking that Swami would do something to change him, but now I was afraid of what this boy would do to Swami, the way he was standing there. And then Swami went there. On the way, in Brindavan, some of you might have seen, there is a Brindavan Tulsi plant. Swami picked up a leaf from that plant, and many times, Swami would play games. See, once, he picked up a leaf like that and called me and did this. And very humbly, I bowed down to take it. Then Swami put it into his mouth and said, "You go back." And I was wondering, he would play a game on somebody that day also. Swami quietly walked and went to this boy. And this boy was still standing like this. He was still standing like this. And Baba went and did this. And he stretched out one hand. See, suppose any of us, when Baba gives us, we would do this. This boy said, that's how what he did. And Swami put the leaf on his hand. Suddenly I saw a change. He bent down. He was looking at Swami with great amazement. I approached, and Swami was telling him, don't show this to anybody. There is your date of birth inscribed on this. I was wondering how date of birth could be inscribed on a tulsi leaf. I went, I told Swami, please show me alone, nobody else. And Swami just removed his palm. I saw a gold coin. I saw a gold coin in place of tulsi leaf. And then the boy had opened the door. Swami walked onto the stage and told him, keep it safe. Total transformation had come over him. And he took that coin, and I went to him. When I went to him, he said, "Sai Ram, sir." I was very, very happy. And then he pulled out his handkerchief and put it at the center, that coin, 8 folds, and put it in his shirt pocket. And as bhajans were going on, everybody was involved in bhajans. This boy was all the time holding like this, because Swami had told him, keep it safe. I then noticed this boy was very sincere, very frank, but very sincere. That is not the end of the story. And Swami came out after the Aarti and asked him, where is the coin? He very gently opened his kerchief and showed, to his dismay, the gold coin had disappeared and there was only a tulsi leaf. Baba picked it up and asked him to open his mouth and put it. I am sure that was the most bitter thing that he would have eaten in his life. And then Swami coolly walked back. He came to me and asked me, Em Samacharam, what is the matter? I said, Swami, the poor thing, that boy. Oh, you have great compassion for that boy. You go there, wave your hand, create the gold coin, and give him. I just whispered into his ears, Swami, if I could do it, I would not be here. Then Swami called that boy. Swami called that boy, waved his hand, created the same gold coin, and gave it to him, and told him, don't show it to anybody. Immediately that boy looked at me. Because he thought, because I looked at that coin, then it had disappeared. He thought that way. I said, boy, I am not going to look at it. That evening when I went back to the hostel, he came back to my room. Sir, Sai Baba is God. I will stay here and study in this university. He told me as if he is doing a great favor to me. But he was doing a great favor to himself. That's what I would like to say. He was doing a great favor to his parents. 3 days passed, and one day, Swami sent me on some job Those days, this mobile phone had not made its advent. Swami wanted me to call up somebody. I went to my office. And what had happened in the Sai Ramesh hall when Swami came for darshan, I did not know. This boy came running to my office. Sir, I want to show you something. Of course, not the gold coin. I told him, no sir, gold coin only. Swami has asked me to show it to you. Sir, today Swami asked me where is the gold coin, and I gave it to him. He blew it on it once. It became double the size. Second time, treble the size. Fourth time, 4 times the size. Sir, it is here. I said, are you ready to take the risk of showing it to me? No, sir, Swami has told me. And he showed me. What Swami had gifted him was the gift of faith, which is the greatest gift of God to man. There is nothing else, there is no treasure higher than complete faith in God. Complete faith in God means total realization of God. When you have 100% faith in God, we realize Him 100%. That is what the great master, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, taught to his disciples. Nayamatma pravachanena labhyaha, na medaya na bahuna shrutena, eme vesha runute tena labhyaha, tasesha atma vivrunute tanum swam. Not by giving lectures, not by listening to lectures, not by a brilliant brain, not by great scholarship and learning, you are going to experience divinity. Only the one who is chosen by Him. To him He reveals Himself. For that, the precondition is faith, innocence, and purity. My dear brothers and sisters, especially the young men and young women, all of you have that faith, the greatest treasure on which to build your lives. I would remind you a wonderful saying of Dr. Hislop from United States of America. He told us, Swami is my hero, because I do not see any heroic qualities not exemplified in his life. I shall follow him to the ends of the earth. Youth of the world, unite. We have nothing to lose but chains of bondage to flesh, which is an invitation to misery and sorrow. It is your job. We have failed as an elder, as a person over 70 years of age. I would like to tell, I would like to apologize. I would like to confess that we, the elders, have failed you. It is your job to break and demolish all the artificial walls and barriers that we have built in the name of nationality, language, caste, religion, and creed. It is your duty to fulfill and materialize the vision of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, one world, one family. Thank you very much.